Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you've been following along with the common application series, thank you so much. Today is basically the last, well, not today. This video is basically our last video in the common application series. If this video ends up being too long, obviously I will cut it into two and you would have two videos this week. I know that I did not drop any video last week, and I totally apologize for that. And so in today's video, I'm going to be showing your counselors and teachers how to fill out their own part of the recommenders and FERPA. I really hope that this series has been so helpful. If it has, make sure to like, make sure to comment down how helpful it has been for you. Also make sure to share this video. It's free of charge, you guys. Um, Another thing that I wanted to mention is I will be starting the funding series immediately after this one, and I am just so excited about it. That's where we're talking about schools that are fully funded and we'll be reviewing schools together. So you better hurry up and finish your Common App with me in case you haven't. And hopefully we'll be able to submit our applications together also, like in line with your deadlines. So basically, as a counselor, so when I say you now, in like throughout this video, I'm talking about the counselor, I'm talking about the teacher. This is how you would see the Common App request. So if a student has added you as a counselor or a teacher or an advisor, you would see it on here. So the Common App here would now send an email to them saying that so students, so this is the pseudonym that I used, has asked for your support as their counselor or as their teacher, excuse me, or even as their advisor. And so if you're using one teacher as a teacher and as an advisor, that means the teacher is going to have one account but two sections. I'm going to show you guys what that means for someone like me that is, using this as a counselor, and I'm also an advisor for students. So I'm basically, this is how it looks like. That's just what I wanted to show you guys. So now let's get right into creating an account on, Common App as a teacher or as a recommender. And so now, whilst we're waiting for this thing to, show up, how are you guys, how are you guys feeling? How have you guys been? How have you guys been? Like, I feel like we haven't really had a nice discussion in a while, which is very, probably I'll do a sit down video one of these days just so that we can catch up, guys. I miss you all so much. This is basically what it looks like. Recommender sign in. And so even if I was to, search for, but obviously if you were watching the like the where we were when I showed the email, it said sign in. And so to sign in, you can see things here. So you can see here that it was saying sign in. I'm trying to make sure that this thing is showing exactly what it is supposed to show. Perfect. So you can see here that it says sign in using your existing Common App account. If your teacher or counselor doesn't have one, it would say please create an account, and then they're able to create an account. And so let us just get right into it. Let us sign in and go like So we're gonna sign in, and whilst we're signing in, I'm trying to see if I can pull up like a creation account. But yeah, while that is loading, I really hope you guys have, been searching out your schools and all of those things. So when you have been emailing me, I'm so excited about that. Well, I have been excited about it because it tells me that you guys are watching these videos and you're learning a lot of things. Like I saw some people's essays and I was just so proud of y'all. I feel like I haven't really gone in depth with like essay writing and all of those things. Like there's a whole bunch of videos that you guys have requested me to do that I feel like I haven't done, and I do apologize for that, but we will be getting into it. So now, this is what I was saying, that if you were using a teacher, the same teacher as your advisor and your teacher recommender, so this person will be able to choose one role. That so if he wants to fill out the advisor part first, he would do that, or she would do that. If he wants to fill out the counselor part first or the teacher part. So I'm just gonna go straight to counselor. Only students in the ECG zone school that registered have the access to put me as an advisor. See why you should have registered. Nonetheless, so this is basically what it looks like. I'm able to see all of my students. And so for a brand new counselor, teacher, or advisor, you'll be asked to fill out your profile. The truth about this thing is I've actually done this video before, but then it wasn't like showing exactly what I was doing on the screen. The screen was blank, which is why I keep checking to make sure, because imagine recording 6 videos like that. That's why there was no video last week. So you would fill out the profile section, basically personal details, your name, phone number, um, your email account that you would fill out. Then you go on to school details as the counselor. So what I'm filling out now is the counselor, how it looks like for your counselor, or how it looks like for you as a counselor. School details, basically, but we're not able to do basically here because the students should be able to do this by themselves, but obviously it's a whole different thing. And so I would do search by country. If you're a school that already has a CEB code, you can use that. If your school doesn't have, then that's not a problem. So if you search Nigeria, you can see all the schools here. If your school ends up being on this list, please just click it and you should be good to go. Like there's so many schools in Nigeria that are on this list, that your school is not, on this list doesn't like mean anything. So don't mind me, I'm just searching for a particular school. Um but yeah, that's just what you have. And then you can now scroll down. If you don't see your school at all, you put I don't see my high school on this list, and you can now put in the name of the high school. And so for me, I just do blah 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 blah, and you're going to select the country to Nigeria or whatever country is that you are filling this out, not from now, but the school is public. If it's a public school. Charter, to be honest, I do not know the meaning of a charter. Religious, I feel like that's self-explanatory. Homeschool is also independent, like a private school. And so I'm just gonna put any address. You don't need to fill out address line 2 and 3 if your school's address doesn't fall into that. Like you can see here, like I've been telling the students, only the things that have the red asterisk are compulsory. Does that mean you should answer all the other ones that do not have the red asterisk? Of course not. If you can answer it, please do answer it. And so I'm just going to do continue. If your school has a website, please make sure to put it. Your school may have had adjustments to like your academic calendar, because I feel like for some schools in Nigeria now, we're not some schools, almost all the schools, secondary schools in Nigeria or high schools in Nigeria currently only I think they write like around June, July, or even April. No, June, July, yeah. When we wrote it around March, which was before like COVID-19. So if that has changed, you can put that in there. Maybe you are now probably doing 3 days a week in school, 2 days online, or you've now incorporated online ever since COVID-19. Please make sure to put this in here. So this is something that you need to keep in mind. Your students also have a similar space in the application to share how these events have affected them personally. So if the student puts that no, it hasn't affected them personally, and you come on here to put that. So students, if you're watching this video, this is also the time for you to, start cross-checking, verifying that what your counselor is putting is exactly what is on your application, like it's matching. And this should be around the education part for students. You have a maximum of 500 words. Obviously, if there has been no changes, like for certain schools that were already using like devices even before COVID, and you guys just switched to that, and when you resumed school, it was still fine. Like the maybe your school doesn't write YA. I'm not sure if there's any school in Nigeria that doesn't write YA, but if your school doesn't write WAEC, your curriculum or calendar probably did not change. And so that's not a compulsory part for you. School profile, if you want to, explain exactly what it is that you do in the school, like this is a school whereby all the students are fully funded, where all the students, their needs are fully met, or whereby we have, if you're a school that has been created specifically for people with disabilities, you probably want to explain that here, just so that the school under the universities and the colleges understands your school better. Approximately when are mid-year grades typically available? Mid-year grades are basically for like the student hasn't finished, like if your student is currently SS3 year 12, their last year of high school, and they have not graduated. When do you think, like for my school now, we wrote first term exam, right? And so that was what was used as our mid-year grades, because we didn't write second term and third term exams, because we were writing IGCSE, NECO, WAEC, JAM, everything together. And so if you're a school like that, you probably want to put that it will be ready around December. So that doesn't mean even though it's after the deadline, some schools will ask for it and some schools will not ask for it. While some schools will be like, oh, we accept your application, um, but we're going to wait for your mid-year reports. Do you understand? Or your final year grades. Or they will be like, oh, we're still going to review your application once your final year and mid-year grades are available. Well, obviously, you can see here that this is not required at all. Graduating class size is compulsory. So for my school, we had 9 students that were graduating. Yeah. So if your student is putting that there's 20 like there are 20 in the graduating class, right? Which is approximately for the students, that's what they're asked to put there. And you're coming to put 9 over here. There's already discrepancies between you and like the school and the student. And so this is something, there are places that you guys need to, keep in mind. Percentage of students who have first generation college. If your student is a first generation college student, that means like none of their parents or guardians have been to a 4-year university. So if the student puts that and you put 0, then that's giving like, that just say given, that's causing discrepancies already. So you need to be very careful about that. So maybe just have like maybe majority of your students. So you probably have like 50% or just 1%. So I'm just gonna put 1. Percentage of students who are non-US students. Guys, that's basically almost all of the school for us. So that's probably like 97 or even 96. No, let's put 93, because we had like US citizens come to school with us also in my secondary school. Percentage of students who receive or free or reduced lunch, like people in boarding school. I don't think our lunch is free because we're paying for it with our. So you probably have 0, because I don't think any school in Nigeria does like reduced lunch, but I think some public schools give free lunch. So that's, if that applies to you, obviously put that in there. Like I said, these questions are not compulsory. School setting, suburban, which of the following courses are offered at your school? If you don't offer it, you do not need to put it. Like everything's not by force. Like if you're getting what I'm saying, this now is compulsory. Our classes taking on a block schedule. A block schedule is basically you can take one course and focus on it for like maybe 3 to 6 weeks. When you finish, you move on to the next course. That means you have like 5 courses in a semester or in a term. I don't think any school in Nigeria does that. But obviously, if you're from another country, because I'm getting comments and emails like telling me that people are from like other countries. I'm so grateful to you guys for watching these videos. I'm like for myself. So if your school does operate on things like that, your counselor should be able to put that in there. So if they put yes, it doesn't like ask them to put any other info about that block schedule. So you can put no, the graduation date um for that student. But obviously if you're a counselor whereby um you have a lot of students that are applying to the same school now, and you are their counselor, right? Their graduation date should please be the same. So the profile you put here will be automatically applied to all of your students. So you need to keep that in mind. Is your school located outside of the United States? Yes. Do you use an AP curriculum? No. Do you complete applicants' academic rating on the Common App School Report? Yes. Does your school require students to perform volunteer service? Bro, if you put yes, you're going to have to describe what is required. But obviously, my school required us to do that, and we obviously they will explain like um we had to participate in like packing of the things that were donated by each student, or not each student, but by students and parents to be taken to Erobodo Home for Kids with Special Needs and St. Thomas Nursery Primary School also. Yes, I went to school in Ogun State. How do you report class rank? Students, if you're watching this video, which you should, to be honest, just so that you know the places that you need to be very careful about. Um, if you're putting exact, and your counselor is not putting exact, there's a problem. So that's what I'm saying. You need to ask them. You need to confirm all of these things with them. Rank weighting now. If you're using weighted, please put weighted from when to when. So in Nigeria, most schools grade you term by term, which is why I'm putting from September 2019 to December 2019, because after that you don't get class ranking anymore because you are now writing your external exams. But this like first term SS3, everybody's still writing school exams, so you still get like first position, second or third position. But like by second term, everybody's writing exams, so there's no like first or whatever. There's no class ranking. Do you report GPA? If you say no, then you will not be required to answer the questions that so like I always tell the students, the question you whatever you put, your answer to the question above determines the questions you answer below. I feel like that should be like one slogan, can you like that? But anyways, so your GPA scale, if you do report GPA, from when to when is that like, do you guys do that? Obviously term by term. Schools passing mark 2.5, whatever your passing mark is. So let's say you're using 100, and you're obviously they're not going to ask you to put all of that because this section is just for GPA. Highest grade or GPA in class. Now, if the students put on their own common app that they are the first in the class, right? And they put that their GPA is a 3.7, and you're coming here to put that the highest grade in that class is 4.0, is either you are making a mistake or the student is lying. So you need to be very careful. And students also need to confirm very well with their counselors just so that they're putting in the right information about themselves in here. Our current courses listed on the transcript, I'm putting no simply because I'm filling this out as a school whereby you do not your SS3 results is not put on your transcript. And also because if they are going to submit your WIEC for you, those courses might not be listed on your transcript or anything. And if it is listed, um if the student has graduated, then no, those courses you can just put current courses are listed on the transcript, to be honest, because even if the student has graduated, right, that's like their most recent course, like they haven't done any other coursework in university or wherever, so you can just leave it as yes. A college entrance examination scores included with or visible on the transcript? No, if you know that the WIEC is not part of your transcript for your school. Some schools include your WIEC or NECO like under your actual like GS3 to SS2 or SS3 results, or however your transcript starts or ends, they include it. So if they include it, please make sure to put yes. If they do not include it, just make sure to put no. Please indicate the most recent grades on the transcript accompanying this form. So if you're a school whereby you use SS3 results even up to third term, and the student is currently in SS3 first term and they haven't written their first term exam, you would have it as final year junior grades. Junior year is basically SS2. But if the student is maybe like has written first term, half term, like mid-term test, so you would have the first quarter of senior year grades as the most recent, second quarter slash first semester. I feel like some schools do CA1, CA2, and they have results for that. If it's the third quarter, if that applies to your school, but you can do first trimester, because obviously in Nigeria we use three terms. Now for international students, what's the primary language of instruction in your school? English. Is promotion within your educational system based upon standard living examinations given at the end of lower and or senior school by state or national living examinations board? Yes, because in Nigeria we write like Becky, we write WAEC. So if you're from a country whereby they write WAEC, you should be answering yes to this question, both for students and counselors. Grading scale used in your school, and it's approximate equivalent to the A to F scale commonly used in the United States. So in the United States, A is excellent. So whatever is excellent in your school, like in our school, excellent, we have up to A star. And so since there's no A star here, is I use the WAEC format, WAEC grading scale, but obviously whatever your grading scale is, you can use. You can see that I have grading scale on my head, you see. Are you feeling me? So you feel all of that just so that the school on. So this is where you need to have created the students' transcripts so that there's no issues, there's no problem. Certifications, transcript information, and you click yes, yes, and you do go to my students. You have finished your profile basically. So you can see the to-do list that your students have next week, this year, fee waiver, and all of the things that needs to be something. Like I said, I've done this before, but like it wasn't showing on the screen. So some things have been done, and I will try to take you guys. So you can see all of the schools that the students has chosen. So students, the reason why I said to try as much as possible to add all of your schools is because some schools will require your counselor to put the media reports, while some do not require them. Some require counselor recommendation, while some not require it. And so you don't want them to do back and forth, because if the school doesn't require it, they will not be able to submit it. So it's not that, oh, they can submit it and come back and, oh wow, they can actually submit it. Sorry about it. I'm moving. So it says not required. So let's go to school report. The school report is not going to show submitted because of various reasons, that being that this is not an actual application. Class rank, you can see that most of the things that you filled out in the profile section have been filled out. The applicant class rank, you're going to put a 2 or whatever, first position, second position. How many additional students share this rank? Maybe 2 or 3. One thing that I want to say again is these questions are asked, the students are asked this question in the education section of their own common apps. So if your counselor is saying 2 additional students share this rank and you are saying you are the only one sharing this rank, there was a cut, please. Rank weighted, basically every single thing that you put into that aspect. I did try to get a counselor to come and teach you guys this thing, but so we'll see. So do you report GPA? Yes, cumulative GPA 3.77 out of a 5.0 scale. So as a student, I know that some of you have not received your transcript and you just want to put in a GPA. Once your counselor start filling this out, please make sure to also go back and fill those things out, which is why it's preferable to have your transcript on hand as you fill out the common application education section, just so that you're not making mistakes. You can see that all of this have been filled out based on like what you put in the profile. So make sure to put that in your profile. Curriculum In comparison with other college preparatory students at your school, the applicant course selection is what I feel like for every student, you should just put very demanding, because even though in Nigeria, people are like, oh, science is harder than, commercial. It doesn't matter. It could be very, like, ordinary commerce is very demanding for some people. And so if you feel like the things that the students are doing or the subjects that the students are doing are like just very like just they're just average. Maybe the students won't ethical like that. So there's nothing you actually give the students that challenges the students, except you ask the students to, go the extra mile. So you might want to just put that it's average, or you can put that it's very demanding, and then still put that the student is on like a high GPA, so that they know that even with a very demanding, course skinning that the person is doing, or programs or subjects, the person still has a very high GPA. Obviously, don't over package the students. Is the applicant an IB diploma candidate? If so, please put yes. Whatever candidate it is. So I'm gonna put no, 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 no for all of this. I really hope this video is as explanatory as possible. And then we're going to come over to ratings. Like I said, I've done this before, but it wasn't showing. So compared to other students in their class, how do you rate these applicants in terms of academic achievement? So if you're saying that a student's class rank is 2, and you're coming here to come and put that that student is an average student, that doesn't make any sense, to be honest. So outstanding. Compared to other students in their class, how do you rate this applicant in terms of extracurricular accomplishment? I'm just going to put good. Maybe the student is very good in academics, but it's not good in extracurriculars. You can just put good or below average, depending on whatever you want to put. You can also put one of the top few encountered in your career. How do you rate this applicant in terms of personal qualities and character? How do you rate this applicant overall? And so I can put very good, like students is well above average students compared to other students in their class. Now that's what they're asking you. So the transcript section, please indicate the number of official transcripts you can provide for the applicant. If the student has finished like secondary school, then it's most likely one transcript. But if you know that, oh, the student is currently year 12 or SS3, so you're going to submit like their WAEC once they are done, or you're going to submit their SS3, that's if they're going to write school exams, then you're probably going to upload 2 transcripts. And so the current or most recent transcript for a student who has not graduated secondary school would be the one they have right now. I will not be uploading any documents here because, this is a practical account. Our current courses listed on the transcript. So like in Nigeria, from SS1 to SS3, in a lot of schools, you do the same courses. So if it's someone that is still in SS3, so that means their current courses are also listed on that transcript that has been submitted. Our college entrance examination scores included. You already put no in your profile, so don't come here to put yes again. You click this. So if you so I understand that failure to do so will result in my Common App online account being closed. So make sure to upload a transcript. Don't upload a blank transcript, or don't upload a document promising to mail the transcript at a later time. That's going to cause issues for the students. Please indicate the most recent grades included on the transcript accompanying this form. So the most recent grade would, for students who is currently still in school, would be final year junior year grades, but the students has graduated, it will be final year senior year grades. I recommend these students, please, why are you choosing with reservation? That should not even be an option. You do continue. So you come over to international school. Those questions that have been asked: has the applicant already taken living exams? If this applicant has written WAEC, yes. If they haven't, nope. So yes, then you will be asked to upload an official copy of this student lower secondary examination results. If they've taken senior ones, then you're going to include an official copy of the two or just one. If this applicant senior secondary leaving exam results are not yet available, that means the student has written it, you're just waiting for the results. Please indicate predicted results. So as a student also, excuse me, in the testing section, you should have inputs that your YX score that you put on there is predicted, so that when your counselor is uploading it, he's also or she's also going to indicate that it is predicted. And obviously this is, you can upload, this is a required aspect if the student has already taken the living exams, and this is your grading scheme. So you can do review and submit, and you're done with the school report. The fee waiver now, for a lot of students, I feel like that's what has been hindering you guys from applying to a lot of schools that you love or are interested in. Please choose any school that you want to. You can see that I've done this since October 12th, like bro. So review submitted form. Hopefully that opens up on time. But this is basically what you're going to fill out for the students, just so that the all of the students application fee waivers would application fees would be waived. You know that each student is required, you will be asked that the students said that they can provide a documentation showing that they qualify for the common application fee waiver, which as a student you should have put yes in that section. So the counselor would also put yes that the student is eligible for it, and that's all. That's the fee waiver, and you are going to click submitted and you're good to go. Because of the students school, which is University of Minnesota Twin Cities, that I have added, and you can see that it's only that school that I've added, and that's the only thing showing up here. um all of these other things are not required, they're not available, because the student, according to what I put there, has finished what, secondary school. So obviously if it is required, let me just answer that part for you guys. So a lot of schools will not, this counselor recommendation, when you ask your teachers or counselor to write a recommendation letter for you, they'll be like, I've known this person for the past 6 years. So the counselor can just put this here, copy and paste the first words that come to your mind. Please provide comments that will help us. You can see that these first two questions do not have the red asterisk here, so they are not compulsory. So what we are going to ask you to do is you can upload your recommendation letter just straight up here, or type it here directly. You have a maximum of 1,000 words. Counselor evaluations. We recognize, however, that you might not be able to provide one. If you will not be providing a personal written evaluation, please check the box below that you will not supply a written evaluation. Note you may substitute another school's officials evaluation in place of one for you personally. So I'm gonna, if I do review and submit, that's all. If you do, I will not be submitting. If you wish to provide additional details, you can provide. That's if you haven't uploaded the documents here, but you should be able to provide evaluations for these students, guys. So please choose to provide an evaluation or indicate you will not include one. And so that brings me to the end of the counselor part of common application. I'm going to try and pull up the teacher's part, but it's basically self-explanatory even for the teacher's part. You know what to do. You guys should comment down if your teachers are having issue answering any part, and I'll probably make a video on that. But that brings me to the end. If you are just watching these videos for the first time, guys, you don't know where to start at all, there's a whole playlist on Common App, and all the videos on Common App that I have made this year have been added, and you can follow along with each section. Basically, this brings me to the end of the Common App series. So next week we're going to be talking about funding. I will try to give at least 2 videos a week. So make sure to also comment down if you guys want 2 videos a week or 1 video a week, but longer videos, just so that we can cover all of the sections regarding funding in 2 weeks. And so even before November 15th, which is the deadline for a lot of schools, for both your application and your financial aid, which is funding, you'll be done with your application. All right. I hope this was very useful to you guys, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Stay tuned. God bless you. Jesus loves you guys.